Space, the final frontier. These are the voyages of the starship Fantasize. Its 5-year mission? To seek out new lies, to explore fake worlds, to boldly show what all men have known before. Hello once again and welcome back to Supervolcanoes. Hi. If it's your first time to a haphazard recording, I tend to jump around a little bit. Creating a new opening here, let me show it to you and play you the intro. So this is the beginning of my new intro. I'm going to be putting in different words, possibly different videos. And if you noticed in the beginning, a little earlier, the timing of the snap of the fingers was good, but then the clap was off slightly. See, not quite on the beat. So I'm going to have to redo that video. Wanted to let you know about that, and let's get into today's production. This is actually what I'm going to be talking about to some degree right here. As you can see, the plasma ball and how the plasma is attracted to the fingers. All right. Now imagine the fingers are cities. The plasma ball is turned inside out, and that is some of the essence of the information on today's issue, back to plasma and the reaction of plasma. But I will not be covering this as much. However, it was one of my first videos, if not my very first video. If you go back to my very first video, you will see I did one on plasma and the countdown, the reasons that we have such severe weather at this particular juncture. And there are a great many people that consider it to be fear-mongering. I consider it to be an important curiosity that you might want to take a look at. So I will put a link in my description concerning the plasmatic reactions we're having now in our weather and universe. And because I do not like to mirror videos, so I will just let this go. With the link, and to have you take a good close look at the reasons they're shutting off the power, the reasons there are so many strange storms all over the world. You've got plasma coming down and connecting to things, and the plasma hits these transformers. The transformers explode. And the exploding transformers create fires. There are a lot of different anomalies that occur with plasma coming down. Imagine a Tesla coil up above our atmosphere, you might say. And it's swirling around with plasma. And this plasma is coming down to connect and creates water. And so we have massive amounts of flooding. We have transformers exploding. We have strange multiple tornadoes occurring, and quite unusual phenomenon. And this plasma can be seen through the clouds, and many people confuse it as UFOs because of the lights in the clouds sort of thing. And so the information that she conveys, I apologize, the dark screen. And I do not like to fearmonger as well, but do like to convey the information that is conveyed through my comments. And so feel free to continue to leave comments. I greatly appreciate, as I say in most of my videos. I did a little piece here on Ilka Freiman's, so I'll go into that right now. And thank you, Ilka, once again for your link So let's go ahead and take a look at that. And of course, Ilka Fryman, you can't just pass up one of Ilka's videos. For crying out loud, lad. You got to check it out. All right, first of all, this is just an advertisement here, and I'm not here to advertise for it, but this stuff is cool. You know, you glue it on, you hit it with a light, and it's done. So anyway, I think that's cool stuff. I want some. And let's see here. The skip trial. All right, now let's see. The Catalan, a medieval marvel. The Catalan Atlas. The Catalan Atlas. Let's have a quick preview of the Catalan Atlas. The medieval marvel. Huh. Well, it looks pretty neat. I'm going to have to go ahead and check this out and give a full description after doing that of the Catalan Atlas. It's got 91,000 views put out by Flashpoint History. And don't forget to check the Bonnie Wright. Let's see, show more, synopsis, and Flashpoint History. Download the Real Podcaster episode. Yeah, it's... I posted the idea of creating this video on my Facebook page a few weeks ago. As soon as this 2 weeks ago. Okay. The response was very clear, big yes. So, as requested, here it is. All right. Well, I will leave this a medieval marvel link in my description once again. And great and many thanks to Ilka Fryman for investigating and sharing these unique investigations of the maps of yesteryear. And so I just wanted to go through this a little bit here and look at some of the strange and curious details. And what does this say here? Ela Trapabanite. Her name was Ela. She was at the Trapabana. No singing. Sorry about that. Just wanted to add here that this particular video is quite well narrated. I'm going to go ahead and show a couple of parts since I made a little fun of what's about to come up here.
Heading further east and at the edge of the world, according to the map, lies the island of Taprobana, which is thought to be the islands of Sumatra and perhaps Java combined as one. Here, the inscription gives just a fantastic tale. Quote, "The island of Taprobana is the last island of the Orient. The island is inhabited by people that are very different from the rest. There are some burly men in some mountains of the island, 12 cubits in height, like giants. They are very black and dim-witted, and they eat white men and foreigners, should they be apprehended. In this island there are 2 summers, 3 winters, and trees and herbs flower twice a year." End quote. It would seem that science, at the edge of the world,
and other parts of this
denominations are marked by Christian crosses, Islamic crescents, and Jewish stars. On the extreme left of the map, a windrose has been placed with the cardinal directions and with the labels of the predominant winds.
So he goes
Covered
through
with forests. There's also many beasts like deer, white bears, and gerfalcons. End quote. One interesting aspect is that the Atlantic Ocean, the North Sea, and the Mediterranean are devoid of dragons, monsters, and other mythological beasts. Only, quote, "This lord is called Musameli and is the sovereign of the land of Geneva, also known as Ghana. A depiction of the Sultan of Delhi, who in error is labeled a Christian. If you notice, both the eastern and western seaboards of India are dotted with cities. It often happens that he hears the voices of devils, which are like the voices of his companions, and they call him by his name and lead him in all directions through the desert, so that he can never find his companions again. 1,000 tales are told about this desert." End quote. Very black and dim-witted, and they eat.
Okay, so this is a very interesting and well done essay, and I can see why the man has thousands of subscribers. It's called Flashpoint History. And yeah, go ahead and like and subscribe to that. Thanks, Ilka, for that. Wanted to just interject a little more before I ended this essay. Thanks, Ilka Fryman, for all of these grandeurs that you share with us in this We Three Kings of Orient. Okay, so I don't know, I'm musically inclined. And all of these castles and people floating out here juggling water or just staring at their hands in the water. I don't know if you can see that part. Okay, that's cool. Thanks. And thank you for all of your comments. Of course, always appreciate the ability to go through, check out the links that you guys are sending. And so when I go back into my very first videos, I don't actually see the plasma videos I started with. Oh yeah, there we go. Let's see, where's that part? I talk about a spiral and timing, and that the sun is spiraling down, and it is plasma above plasma that is creating all of our strange weather. Plasma that is, you could say, beyond our atmosphere, on the outer edge of our atmosphere, and you can see the world in itself, or yeah, our universe. It is an electromagnetic universe. I do show some diagrams in here of the electromagnetics of our universe. And the whole idea here is that on the outside of our, what you might call, atmosphere, we have plasma circling round and round. The culmination of that plasma is what creates or emanates our sun. All right, this is the theory that I cover in this. That's why I would leave, not knowing as much as what I would prefer to talk about, all this severe weather situation occurring because of the electromagnetics, the plasma that is up over our atmosphere. And this plasma accumulates, just like plasma when you put your finger on a plasma ball. Right, and so where it accumulates more and more, you have more storms, you have more strange weather, you have these cyclical actions like tornadoes and hurricanes, and the countdown is occurring at this point in time, according to certain sources. And all right, well, this is the first video that I had put out. Was concerning the information that is located here on Brian Austin Lambert 33's information, the way that he puts his details out, and the information that, and the model he uses, the information he conveys, and yeah, top notch, top of the line, has everything to do with what's going on here and now, and how we are being distracted for the most part, or lied to in different ways about the catastrophes that are occurring. And yeah, check out the information on the fact that we have an electromagnetic universe. It is a plasmatic reaction, and yeah, he goes through everything in brutal detail, you might say. Kudos to Brian Austin Lambert 33. In my opinion, I hope this doesn't lose me too many subscribers, but I think the important thing is what we can use. So it's not about fear-mongering or panic. It's about information, what has happened before, and what is provable or evidentiary. So I wanted to bring that up. Now, in the comments section, I have been led by people sending me links, as Laura Croft has here in this particular video. And this is Rogers at Mud Fossil University. At first glance, this is first glance of me looking at this. Well, of course, I have actually shown this in past videos, and I think anybody who's into mud fossils knows this is very resembling a human part that we are all familiar with right when we're born. And so thank you, Laura. Yes, Roger Dodgel at Mudfarcer University. He's of course, I'm subscribed and have been for quite some time. And surprised that I don't have a like on this one, because it's more than likely than a remake that he is re-showing details of. Let's see when he put this one out a year ago. Yeah, this guy really does go through some great information. And so the coupling of the mud fossil information along with the super calderas of the past. I love this artesian, or in this case here, he's talking about where the water is a vein. This is like a leg or a body part, and the vein is coming up, drawing water up from the water table, and then the water comes running down. This is actual operating veins here. And so, yes, of course, this brings us back into the possibility of petrified biology. And as I mentioned, I don't like to mirror anyone, but of course I have always given Roger, because he goes through this detail of and these little circles and places where fiber and bone hook together, there are balls that occur, and these balls are well, he believes, and who's going to argue with him, that the balls that we find, these huge stone balls around the earth, I wonder if he shows them here. Oh, here he's talking about how tendons connect with bone, and bone tissue and tendons hooked together. So yeah, I've seen this, and I really do find it fascinating, and he gives explanation to a lot of these strange anomalies we find in petrified in the earth. And so once again, the channel comments have led me to some fascinating details. Sorry it took so long. It was 6 days ago, and but I just showed this, just putting this in my next video, in my next vid. Thanks. Yeah, because it's always nice to bring up mud fossils and mud fossil theory and evidence. I think I really enjoy it personally. It's my own personal opinion, and of course, who doesn't love Laura Croft? I have several held for review in the comments area, and Jim Dillinger, big shout out to Jim Dillinger. I'd just seen a video. Here's a quick look at Jim Dillinger's channel. Excuse me while I try and get things set up a little bit better. And right, I've noticed that he has been leaving some comments in other areas, other people I'm just beginning to check out. Let's see if I go into my my own personal videos. Now, popping into the Alton, Illinois cemetery on the Giants Tartary channel. I will leave this link in my description as well. And he shows this cemetery, and he talks about the placement of the cemetery being in, in a seemingly very mud-flooded area. And he does make a good point and shows some good video and shows a great monument. Here he drives off with his other half, better half sister, significant other. No, it's not his sister. And here we are in the Alton, Illinois cemetery. Alton. Showing some monuments. This is Giants Tartary. Showing some monuments in the Alton, Illinois cemetery. And I do like boots on the street, people that have the gumption, not like myself, to get out there with a camera and show some of the cool stuff. And so I noticed, the reason I brought this up is, lo and behold, Jim Dillinger. Definitely previous Civilization Joe, thanks, fake cemetery hiding something. And does seem to be a reasonable alternative or conclusion that cemeteries could easily be placed in places, to cover things up. And so Gods of Egypt is talking about the 1849, the dragon's head, the sand part of his eye, if you zoom out. And so let's take a quick preview of that in this exciting episode of A Haphazard Universe. Okay, now stop. I got you. Check that out. You see this eye? Very devious looking thing. Nostril over here. Very much a type of head. Going to have to go into Google Oit and take a quick preview of this minor detail. And in keeping with the haphazard tradition, the location that we're looking at is more up in this area. Africa is over here, and Africa has a wide number of skull-looking areas, aside from the whole continent itself appearing as a skull, of course, naturally. It's been pointed out many times by many people. Even within the skull, there are other areas and, the anomalies that appear to be of a skullish form and nature. And it is a curiosity. But the area that we're just looking at now, there are a couple of these dragon eye type areas that you can notice here, but the one that we were looking at is up here more in, above Afghanistan. And here we go. This area here, that appearance of an eye, is quite curious indeed, and of course the textures in relation to that. So, and also the nostril here. So I'm going to zoom back and get off those landmarks and just take a look at the terrain briefly before getting back into the plasmatic end of this particular essay. And it is curious, that whole plasma concept. It's unfortunate they have this depicted as a huge marble, because it would be easier to see flows, in my opinion, if it were flattened out. In my humble opinion. So, thanks for that observation. And back to it. And, back into some more of the DN. Always a pleasure. And Adrian brought you up in the last video, and thank you for mentioning these details. The investigation of the Roman Babylon, or DC area as Rome, and the New York City as Babylon. That is curious and interesting. Now, I wanted to bring up as well, Aren't You Nate just had a great comment from Aren't You Nate, and talking about mom and some face cancer and me taking care of things around here and trying to make video productions at the same time, which is a little difficult, but I'm managing. Feel sorry for me and quit sending money. And also, wait a minute. Somebody said Lancey boy. Joseph Brandenburg. Great job, Lancey. Well, thanks, but the nickname for Lance is Lanny, not Lancey. Just to let you know, Lanny is my actual nickname. Lanny. Cheers. Cheers, Joseph Brandenburg, you wild child. He puts out some cool stuff. Pop over to Joe's channel and check him out. I'd like to thank you for watching, checking out the numbers, not being too upset over the details, and have a great day. And check out the information I've set up in these links, and please feel free to share. So, once again, thanks for watching, and I hope that you have found all of this information fascinating and at least curious. So, leave your comments And that's great, and we will continue on with all of these fascinating avenues of intent, complement, and inspiration. Be good to each other, and we will talk to you soon, hopefully. Have a great day.